Hi friends, this is Miss Tara with another edition of Awesome Inventions, and this week we're talking about the inventions of airplanes. So everybody's learned about the Wright brothers and how they were the first people to invent an airplane that you can ride in. And so I thought we would learn about another person who did something really great with flying, and this is called the Flying Girl, how Ada D'Acosta learned to soar. Ada D'Acosta was the first woman to fly in a motorized vehicle before the Wright brothers invented their airplane. So here we go. The book is by Margarita Engel, illustrated by Sarah Palacios. One day, a girl named Ada was strolling on a lively street in a lovely city when she glanced up and was dazzled by the sight of a huge balloon that glided gracefully as a whale-shaped moon. Below the balloon, an airboat dangled. Inside, there was a man. "If that man can fly, so can I," cried Ada. "All I need are some lessons and a chance to try." Ada's mother scolded. "No, no, no, silly girl, don't be so bold. No one will ever marry a girl who dares to fly." But Ada had a dream now, a wild dream of soaring. She did not care to marry anyone who thought dreams were boring. So Ada asked the man to teach her the art of airship flight. The inventor of airships, whose name was Alberto, agreed to show Ada how to start a motor and steer, turn left, turn right. Lessons on the ground weren't easy, but Ada worked hard and soon learned how to pull this lever, tug that rope, drop more ballast, believe, patience, hope. One evening, Alberto invited Ada to an aerial dinner with tables as tall as elephants, served by waiters who walked on tilted stilts that made them look like silly giraffes. At dinner, Alberto said that his airships were meant to be chariots of peace, so that people all over the world could meet one another and develop friendships by flying back and forth. When Alberto invited Ada to ride while he drove an airship, she cried, "No, no, no. I won't be a passenger. I only want to be the pilot." Alberto was amazed. Ada was just a teenager, and no woman or girl had ever flown before. But no one had believed Alberto's wild dream of motorized flight could come true either. Not until he invented his airship. So Alberto realized that if he could fly, Ada could too. All she needed was courage and a chance to try. On a clear summer day, Ada finally had her thrilling chance to pull this lever, tug that rope, drop ballast, believe, rise up, and hope. Like a whale-shaped moon, the airship's enormous balloon soared over the busy city and out to the countryside. It sailed over green farms and cows and sheep, high above the heads of excited children who cried out, "Look, it's a girl! She's flying!" From her dangling airboat, Ada smiled down at the children, but then she frowned at Alberto, who was riding on the road far below on a bicycle, frantically pedaling and waving a handkerchief as he tried to show her which way to go, even though she already told him that she did not need help because she had practiced. Alberto got tangled in a thicket of trees and fell far behind. Ada kept flying high above roads and rivers, completely alone and truly free, until finally she reached her destination, a green field where swift polo ponies twirled and leaped like dancers. Ada landed skillfully, planning to watch the daring game, but down on the ground she soon found that she could not climb out of the airboat. Her dress was too fancy, the skirt was too tight. She wriggled and the children giggled until the end. Some helpful men had to tip the boat sideways so that she could slide out, almost gracefully, without too much of bumpy toppling and tumbling. Ada tried to watch the horses, but angry strangers surrounded her, shouting, scolding, calling names, saying she was too bold, too brave, too different, and too strange. Girls, they hollered, should only be allowed to learn how to cook, sew, clean, but girls, they bellowed, should never be taught how to fly huge machines. Just then, Alberto finally caught up, still pedaling his bicycle, eager to cheer her. "You did it!" he shouted. "You flew! You're a hero! Such a brave inspiration for all the girls of the world." Ada smiled, Ada laughed. Yes, yes, yes. I. She was really the first, but she sure would not be the last. Every child who had seen her glide so high above the roads and fields was probably already singing, "If that young lady can fly, so can I. All I need are some lessons and a chance to try." Sometimes, Ada said to Alberto, it takes to change the world. All it takes to change the world is one wild dreamer's soaring example. Ada D'Acosta was born in 1884 and died in 1962. She is known as the first woman of powered flight. She was born in New Jersey to a Cuban father and a Spanish mother. At the age of 19, during a trip to Paris, Ada became fascinated by the airships of Brazilian inventor Alberto Santos Dumont. She took 3 lessons on the ground at his private air park in Neuilly, St. James, where Alberto built dirigibles that he referred to as chariots of peace. After Ada attended one of Alberto's quirky aerial dinners, with 7-foot-high tables and the waiters on stilts, he invited her to ride in an airship. She insisted that she wanted to be the pilot and not a passenger. Ada's mother disapproved, but she agreed to let her daughter fly on the condition that the flight would be kept secret from Ada's father, because in those days, girls who made news were not considered respectable. Ada's historic flight to the Château de Bagatelle polo field near Paris took place in the summer of 1903, nearly 6 months before the Wright brothers flew a fixed-wing airplane. When a spectacular photo of Ada's flight appeared in the newspapers, her father discovered her secret and demanded that she never speak of her accomplishment. Ada was an obedient daughter, and she kept her promise until the 1930s, when she donated her papers to the Smithsonian, where they were displayed along with the engine of the airship she had flown. As the wife of Charles Lindbergh's lawyer, Ada retained a lifelong interest in aviation, but after losing an eye to glaucoma, she directed her courage toward eye care advocacy. She raised funds for the first eye institute in the United States at Johns Hopkins Hospital, and directed the first eye bank in America, the Eye Bank for Sight Restoration Incorporated in New York. Alberto Santos Dumont is known in his native Brazil as the father of aviation. Inspired by Jules Verne novels, he began inventing flying machines at the age of 10 on the remote coffee plantation where he grew up. His dirigible flights around the Eiffel Tower in Paris were some of the great spectacles of early aviation. Unlike the Wright brothers, Alberto did not believe in patents, and when he won prizes, he donated much of the money to the poor. He became a leader of the protest movement against the military use of aviation technology. So the activity that I have to go along with this book is a paper airplane contest. So this is a paper airplane, a very simple one that I made out of paper and I decorated it. This is my air library plane. And I have another kind that I made out of a straw and some construction paper. So the idea of this is that you can build and fold an airplane of your choice. So it can look like mine. Mine is a whole piece of paper, and this is a straw. So think about what you can do to make it different, how you can run different tests to see how far your airplanes are going to go. So maybe your airplane is going to go really far like this. Is it going to go farther if I bend the straw like this? Is that going to do something? What if I turn it around this way? What if I make it longer? What if my straw was really short? Same thing with my plane, my air library. What if I only used a half a piece of paper? What if I folded it in a different way? What if it only had one wing? What if the nose, instead of being like a triangle, was like a rectangle? These are all tests and trials that you can do at home making your paper airplane. You can look online, you can Google paper airplane templates. There's tons and tons of them out there. We have some books here at the library that you can also check out. And you can see what kind of airplanes you can make, and you can have a little test with your brothers and sisters, mom and dad, whoever you are with, to see Whose paper airplane invention is going to go the farthest? I hope you've enjoyed our lesson today. We'll see you next time for another edition of Awesome Inventions. See you later, friends. Bye-bye.